love me, cause I don't think I love me anymore. Maybe I think too much, so I drink to rush all my demons out the door. Tell me that it's all inside my head. Call it OCD, tell me it's you, not me, cause it's driving me mad. I don't think I'm losing my mind, building all these walls over time. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you. Yeah, I'll find you. And pride, my insecurities haunting my memories, cause I'm holding them inside. Let go, put my thoughts back into words. Feels like I let me down, ain't got no golden crown, I'm just trying to be right. I don't think I'm losing my mind, building all these walls over time. Every time I find you.
Sports, news, pop culture, tech, and the obscure. And of course, your host, Michael Myers.
Well. Here we go. Another episode, another fun time. We're going well lit this time, because why not? Another great week of NFL football, and let me tell you, as a Bears fan, it's hard to be as happy for a loss as I was. Life is good. Stop this stuff. And yeah, everything's good. We're rolling. Boy, your pick'ems have been bad, buddy. This is the MVC podcast. Although it's hard to call it a podcast, I always forget to upload it. So if you check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything like that, you're not catching much. But Zach, you're a compulsive gambler. You are a sports stooge. You are a studier of the game. You know a little bit about a lot of it. I'm surprised that you don't have a high-lie fantasy team at this point. And
they just got to make it. Is there an edge in high-lie? I haven't.
I mean, we're so close to the game. Like, the origins of the game are like in Tampa.
You just got to find where there's an edge.
But speaking of an edge, you do not have that edge. You are a dull blade right now.
Oh, it's not an edge against Vegas.
Yeah. You're losing right now.
Yeah.
The worst 2 weeks have been your 2 weeks. Yeah. Not the last two, but like the worst ones, you had both of them. I thought, I guess maybe I did have the worst one.
I don't know.
Early on, I was like 8 or 9 games back in the pick'ems, and I took the lead. It's me. I'm winning. I feel like when you're betting against Vegas, if you're above 500, you're doing pretty decent.
For sure.
So what is it? What are we looking at here? So,
And that's why in real life, I would never recommend betting every single game because there's not an edge to every game. They're just not.
oh, never mind. I'm not above 500.
Like-
I am 500.
Like, how many games last week where I was just like, there were probably like 8-9 games last week where I was like, it's a coin flip. I have no lean even.
Yeah, I think last week was the first really hard week as far as I didn't have any vibes, positive or negative. I was wrong on a couple ones that I felt pretty strongly about. And this week, it's even worse because the injuries are taking place. Like the Vikings-Bills game. Bills are 3.5-point favorites without an MVP quarterback. So, like, I'm taking, I'm taking the Vikings. Yeah, they ruled it out to this afternoon.
Last I heard, he was still questionable.
Let's see.
He didn't practice today, but I thought he was still questionable.
We're going to double check. Josh Allen. No. Oh, Ball Sack Sports. He's been ruled out. That's all I know.
Oh, on Ball Sack Sports.
So Elon Musk.
He's still questionable right now.
Yeah, so Elon Musk bought Twitter, and now you pay your $8 and you can get your fucking check mark. And it has created so much.
True?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You just pay $8, you get a check mark?
Yep. So
That's
Rich,
terrible.
you know,
That's such a terrible system.
Rich Eisen just got duped by that just before we started. Well, I guess it was like 7.
That is terrible. Like, that's a terrible idea.
Someone created a fake Adrian Wojnarowski Twitter handle. So I'm sure it's deleted by now because someone probably told him. And it was some crazy stuff. What was said? Oh, a fake Adrian Wojnarowski tweets that the Brooklyn Nets have released Kyrie Irving, sources tell ESPN. But, like, if you don't look at the ad, like, that when it first happened, that Woj to the right of between the username and the handle, there was a blue check mark. And Rich Eisen himself said, "Oh, wow.
It's terrible. That's just a terrible idea.
It was,
So dumb.
I mean, it's going to dupe me so much. I'm going to have to do so much backpedaling on stuff just like this. Ball Sack Sports. Who the fuck are you? But I read that
have,
this
like,
morning.
a select few people I even care about. Like, to me, like, Ian Rappaport, the real Ian Rappaport, I could care less what he has to say.
Why is that? Who do you...
He's wrong, like, 60% of the time. If for football, like, did Schefter say something? I have a group of people that I follow on Twitter that I trust their information, and
Fair enough. What about Rap Sheet?
that's Ian Rappaport.
What's the other one? Schefter, you said?
I like Schefter. Ian Rappaport is just like, oh, I think this will happen. Like, I don't care. No.
How do you feel about someone, say, like Trent Dilfer?
I don't know. I haven't really followed Trent Dilfer, but it's just like I like the team's beat reporters I typically trust. Like, if the Buffalo Bills beat reporter says something, I think he knows what he's talking about. If Schefter says something, I think he knows what he's talking about. Jay Glazer, it's hit or miss. Ian Rappaport is a no for me, dog. It's a no for me, dog. Not one. I like team beat reporters the best, and that's where Schefter gets most of his information. Like, he'll see a lot of things where he's like, credit this beat reporter, because they're the ones who are on the ground with that team all the time.
What about
I
that?
trust Field Yates.
You don't like... Oh, I do like Phil Yates. What about that Mark guy from the Pittsburgh beat reporter?
Mark Kaboli, no.
You don't like Kabuli?
He's okay. Like,
No, he's on Pat McAfee all the time.
I have nothing against Kaboli. Andrew Filipponi is one of the Steelers writers. Not a fan.
He's a pretty famous... I know his name.
He just talks. Like, he's already, like, crowned, like he said Pickett to Pickens was going to be Montana and Rice. Like, before they'd even taken a snap together. Like, it was just like, all right, buddy.
I mean, that's just a bold prediction. I mean, if you watch ESPN every week, someone's bound to say that.
He also said that we should fire Tomlin and hire Frank Reich.
Oh, no.
Like, so he just says stuff. So like I said, I just no. So I like Nick Faribaugh and a guy named Derek on Twitter for Steelers stuff are my favorite because they're like film watchers and like they're unbiased. They'll straight up be like, "This was bad."
You think Tomlin loses a job after this year?
No.
I'm just curious, man. Like,
No
this is
shot.
the worst they've ever looked.
Yeah, 0% chance.
Well, ESPN thinks otherwise. Like that comes up. Even when it's like 500, that comes up all the time. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
0% chance.
Yes, dear. It's just okay. I love you. Now come and give you a hug in a minute.
Yeah,
You don't want to be on camera.
0% chance.
0%.
0%. There's just no shot. Like that's not the way the Rooneys do things.
How do you feel Jeff Saturday's going? What is successful for Jeff
They
Saturday?
would fire Matt Canada in season, and he's terrible. But they're gonna fire Tomlin at the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's
mean,
fair.
like,
they're committed to the
They're
game.
loyal. They're not gonna do that. And like he's also not a bad like logically he's not a bad coach. There are a lot of people who know that, and so he's not going anywhere. And I also think like we're 2-6, which is bad. But if we had T.J. Watt, if he was healthy, I think we win the Browns game, the Jets game, and the Patriots game. Those games are all super duper close. I think Watt makes that difference in those games. And if we're 5-3, no one's saying any of that.
It's probably true.
And I don't think we're like that great of a football team necessarily. I mean, obviously without T.J. Watt, we're not. But like he's coming back this week. I think we beat the Saints straight up. Off a bye week. With Watt back, because with Watt and Minka, when we have Watt and Minka both out there, our defense is ridiculous.
Is Watt coming back?
Yeah, he's back.
He practice?
He's been practicing for a month. He wanted to come back last week. Tomlin said, "You're no." He's like basically, he didn't say it, but I think the thought process was against the Eagles. No, why would we do that? Like we're playing the Eagles.
The only time you're playing against Eagles is in the Super
We have a
Bowl.
bye week after that. Let's just rest you 2 more weeks and have you come back. Definitely 100%. But the thing is, like, we have 3 games the rest of the way. Our final 9 games, we have 3 games against winning teams. 2 of them are Baltimore and 1 Cincinnati. We play like the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Colts. I mean, we're going to be able to... I would not be stunned if we win like 5 of our next 6. It's the Tomlin way.
I'm pretty
we start out
sure-
2-6, we win 5 of 6. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how he is. Like, he's never had a losing season. Like, it's because, like, we'll have a streak where we just all of a sudden get it together.
Is PJ Walker bad?
Yes.
I loved watching him in the XFL or USFL.
He was
XFL?
great then, but this isn't real life. That's not the same caliber of teams.
Shit.
There's a reason he was in that league and not this one.
He looks bad.
Because he is.
He is who ESPN thought Fields was the first 6 games of the season.
I don't think anyone thought Fields was Walker.
Mike Martz thought he was PJ Walker equivalent. PJ Walker adjacent.
That's why I don't even watch ESPN anymore.
No, me neither.
I can't handle it.
There's some.
They're so hot and cold about everything.
There is
They just
a.
have to make a hot take. It's hot. I wish there was a show where they just like held these hot take things, people accountable. Like I wish that ESPN would do that. I wish there was a show that was like, you make your takes, and if you're serious, like you miss enough of them, you're fired.
See, I just follow. So I don't watch ESPN at all.
Like you
But
make enough stupid hot takes that are just dumb.
something's gonna hit.
You should get fired.
Oh,
Instead of just like I get tired of people just continuously like
you can't
just-
pretend to be Nostradamus anymore.
Yeah.
So this is on YouTube. I just follow a couple of Chinese accounts, hardcore like symbols, and then another guy who's Korean. It's NGO with a little upside down V. Ming Tree. He'll just upload like a bunch of clips. So he'll air like a 7-minute segment. I don't have to deal with commercials or the stuff I don't want to hear about because like when it's off season. It's hard to watch ESPN during that lull.
I'm trying to watch ESPN.
It's
You
hard.
need to stop talking after that. This isn't the golden age. This isn't the Chris Berman era, the Kevin Nagandi. That was my favorite. I loved it then. It's not because I was a kid. J.A. Adonde. Like those.
J.A. Oh, yeah.
Though that was the time because.
Jay Mariotti,
You know what?
Woody
People
Page.
just reported. Stuart Scott.
Oh,
And who's the guy who worked with Stuart Scott?
besides Scott Van Pelt? It was
Yeah.
Rich Eisen, Scott Van Pelt, Dan Patrick. They were the big.
There's another guy who works. He might still work there. White guy, like curly hair, glasses.
Keith Olbermann. He's not there. Keith Olbermann. He's made his post ESPN life pretty good. He was a real media guy for a long
hosts
time.
Sports Center. I'm looking it up right now. Sports Center host.
Sports Center. That's going to be a long list, dude.
John Anderson. I think it is who I'm thinking of.
That's not curly. He had spiked front hair. He had the douchey front lip swoop. John Anderson's still there. Scott Van Pelt, he's got to be overpaid as shit because he still does stuff like Sports Center After Dark. He does like all their PGA coverage.
Yeah, I like John Anderson though. But I have a hard
Yeah.
time. I don't like a lot of the new people.
You sound like an old head.
Sports Center used to be better.
I think
Top 10 when they have the top
Oh,
Sports Center
man.
top 10 at the end every single week. It used to be highlights.
real highlights.
That's all it was.
Now it's a lot of.
It was highlights of. They would show all the games. Like I used to love it. I would get up before school. I would watch all the NBA highlights from the night before. Watch Sports Center top 10. They'd show anything else that was cool. Football, you'd watch it. They don't show highlights anymore. They're all talk shows.
I love when they used to have. All these.
And the talk shows aren't even factually based. The talk shows are just opinions. It's just like random people with opinions.
It's The View for men now.
It's terrible. It is awful. I can't watch it because I just don't care. And the thing is, this goes into the Jeff Saturday point. This is a good segue. A lot of people were sitting there saying "Oh, I can't believe they hired Saturday. That was stupid." I like it, and here's my reason being: it's their season's not going anywhere. Take a shot. Just take a shot. It's probably not going to work. It's probably going to be horrible. But at the same time, it's just take a shot. Hire someone who's not done it before. Maybe he's good. Don't do this. I get tired of the same thing where it's we hire Herm Edwards. And then we fire Herm Edwards because he's not any good. And then Herm Edwards is on Sports Center telling me what teams should be doing when it's why are you literally get fired because teams you do stuff and teams go, that's not right. They fire you, and then you're going to give me advice on what teams should be doing?
And the funny thing about that is Herm Edwards was so bad as a coach at his last college job. He got walked off the field by security.
He's terrible.
After a
And
loss.
That's the thing is but then he goes right on ESPN and they're like, what should the Bears do? Why are we asking a guy who can't keep a job with a football team? I'd rather an analyst who's never had one.
Like Louis Riddick.
Like
Louis
Jeff
Riddick,
Saturday.
Yeah.
I'd rather his opinion.
Yeah, Louis Riddick got fired the same fashion Herm Edwards did. And now you're telling everyone what they do wrong, and then you're just because you have a few good takes at how you built the team. Yeah, you're right. And the reason I don't hate Jeff Saturday is because Irsay has a history of hiring black coaches, so it's not racially motivated. He hired.
He might not have had a choice to hire someone outside the organization, though.
He probably had to hire someone outside.
They already fired their OC.
Yeah, they have a quality control
Their
offensive
defensive
dude.
coordinator was John Fox, right?
And I would never hire him.
But here's the thing. What if they asked him and he said, I'm not doing that again?
They should say that because he's a bad coach.
Well, what if he's no, I just want to be a DC and just stay a DC. I don't want to be elevated and be in the limelight and look bad anymore. I just want to be a DC here. And then if he does that, who are you going to hire? You're going to hire your offensive lines coach to...
I like the Saturday hire only in the situation they hired him.
Well, because they're not going to be good. It doesn't matter.
He's from the heyday of the Irsay ownership with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, the fans aren't going to hate you for it.
Who was bullheaded enough to challenge the sheriff. Who has such an understanding of line play. Center is naturally is usually one of the smartest men on the field because they have to understand blocking assignments for everybody and designate linebackers. They're saying, they're identifying mics and blitz coverages especially if you have a bad quarterback, your center is your quarterback. If you can identify that stuff, you can eliminate half the problems of the game.
I don't care if he's not knowledgeable and then hired Marvin Harrison or whatever. Just there's also something to be said about like the fans are just going to be cool, excited about it, cool with it, and they're not going to hate him. Like, you know, there's a lot of talk about like I've heard some people say, why would Saturday do it? Because like he could ruin his process in Indy. I think people make excuses for him. I think they'd be like, well, no one can win with that roster. It's not his fault.
Yeah, dude, he's already like the Ring of Honor. He has a private office in the
I don't think he
stadium.
can mess it up this year. If he stays there a long term, he maybe could. But like this year, he's coming into a dumpster fire.
I like the brass tacks of his interview today, where he talked about say all the things you want. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. You're gonna find out. I'm gonna find out. This may be something I want, maybe not. The thing I like about hiring a head coach who's not a coordinator is your job is to be a leader of men. I think half the time you hire this great, brilliant offensive-minded coach, but then they're not focusing on half the team. Be the leader of men. Hire yourself a coordinator who manages the offense, a defensive coordinator who manages the defense. You are the guy that binds the team. Maybe he's that guy. Like, you know, Eberflus to the Bears. Granted, their defense has been piss poor, but one thing, they look like a team.
If they had a Coordinator of the Year award, Luke Getsy might deserve it this season.
He might.
Because he's built an offense around Justin Fields in like
4 weeks.
Well, giving him giving him a chance to succeed with some of the shortcomings of that offense.
The complete lack of talent.
They have no receivers. They traded for Claypool, and I don't think that helps.
It will.
Will it?
Yeah.
You got a taste of him with his downfield prowess. I understand it was pass interference, and it was.
I mean, that changes the game.
Chicken arm in it. Little T-Rex arms.
He doesn't
reach for the football, and he should. Like
with his athleticism, he has that. He's a top 10 talent.
And why is he down here? Why is he falling? Jump and high point the ball. Like he might as well be 5'9".
If they call that penalty, though, it looks like he's the G. He's the guy because
I get that, but
he would have had like 80 yards in penalties.
I get that, but that's what always bothered me with Claypool. He doesn't ever high point the football, and it's like you're 6'4", man. You play like you're 5'8". Like he never jumps and high points the ball. He's not comfortable You'll watch him Bears games. He's not comfortable catching the ball away from his frame. You'll never see him catch the ball like this. It's always here.
He's breadbasket guy, yeah.
Yep. So he always has to catch it like that, and then he doesn't jump up for footballs. He's always falling. If he's beyond like 3 yards beyond line of scrimmage, he's falling over. It makes no sense. He's the least athletic person I've ever seen. Because he's an athlete. Runs a 4.40, super tall, but he can't move correctly. I don't get it.
Yeah, at least he was physical in the last game. It's the biggest props I can give him.
He's physical, and he's good on running. He's good at running the ball.
He's a yak guy. He's a good yak guy.
I wouldn't mind him as like my third receiver, but like he's not like the answer.
Well, the answer, they talked about.
Maybe they'll figure it out.
Oh shit, Laviska Shenault gone. Oh, and the Falcons tripped each other. Should have been tackled at the 20. Falcons tripped each other. Fell down. Well, our picks are going to be wrong. Never mind. We both said Panthers, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's crazy. 9 points wins this game. The score now in this Panthers game, after that screen, that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. The score now 9-0 after that Laviska Shenault screen. That's good blocking. After that play, it's now 9-0. Panthers over the Falcons. The Falcons ran the ball 3 times from inside the -20 with no intent to move the ball with 7 minutes left in the second quarter. They
are backed up. They don't have a good passing offense either.
They don't have a great rushing offense either.
Nope, but it's just don't get a safety.
I'm excited for the Bears to play him.
Carolina has a good pass rush, though.
Yeah, that's true. And
so they just didn't want to give up a safety.
Who offered 2 first-round picks for the Burns?
I don't know.
The Rams.
Probably a lot of people.
I mean,
the Rams don't value picks at all.
I really love DJ Moore, and I was all in on the Bears trying to get DJ Moore. But then after the deadline, they talked about, the Packers offered a first rounder for DJ Moore. If they would have said yes to the Bears, I would have been so mad that the Bears gave up a first round pick for a second contract wide receiver.
It's fair. Just because you're not a piece away. And that's all I
Right.
say. Like it's different. If you're the Chiefs, you give up a first, and it's a late first, and
Yeah, I'm giving him
Go
pick
for it.
29. Okay.
yeah, for DJ Moore, guarantee, I'm in. But
Who's now the way when he signed his contract is a bargain.
based on the current pay,
Yeah, next year and the year after, it is a steal.
Yeah, it's different when you're a piece away versus
I don't know what the Bears are going to do with the draft.
That's why when I was excited about the Claypool trade as a Steelers fan, because anytime you could trade your third best receiver for a second round pick, you do it. There's no exception to that rule. No one has 3 receivers that you shouldn't trade for a second. The Bengals are the closest thing. You'd be like, well, you shouldn't trade Tyler Boyd for a second. Should they not? Are they going to pay him? You know what I mean? That's the hard part is they're going to walk eventually. You can't pay 3 receivers.
No.
You
I
just
do-
can't.
I'm
We've already
happy.
paid Deontay.
That's true.
And Pickens passed Claypool on the depth chart in a hurry.
Right away.
Literally before the week 1.
I
Man, Pickens at 52 was such a steal.
Yeah, we just have to hold on and see how his character is. What stopped other teams from drafting him? That's the biggest.
His ACL injury. That was what it was.
What
That's
if
why
he's an asshole in the locker room?
No, it was the ACL injury.
We'll find out.
He wasn't a jerk in the locker room.
We'll find out.
Teammates liked him. It was the
We'll
ACL. Literally, teams said it was the ACL.
Put a stamp on it.
No, I mean,
He's
that could
already
be
shaking his hands and getting mad because he doesn't get thrown the ball. I want to see.
And that could be a problem. The ACL could be a problem going forward. I don't know, but I really think his problem was he missed a season of football and played for Georgia, who did not throw the ball a lot. If they did a redraft today, he'd be a first round pick.
You think?
Yeah, because it was an injury concern, and then people would definitely have seen he's healthy. And once they knew he was healthy like that, they'd be like, oh, he'd be a first round pick.
PJ Walker got his points. I didn't even think about that. Thinking of fantasy football, my picks are wrong, but
That was a run.
Oh no! 40. Damn it! Chenault's when I tried to get into. Oh my God, Mariota, you're that. That's bad. That's a bad play. Mariota's a waste of athleticism.
All right, you want to do the picks? Think he's always maybe. I don't know.
Kyle Pitts is.
Kyle Pitts is a waste of athleticism.
he's-
No, again, Claypool is a waste of athleticism. Being that tall and can't. Come on, man. Maybe they can fix it out of him.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was coaching. I realized
Maybe they can coach it out of him. I don't know.
because
We've not had trouble
Pittsburgh
with
has great
receivers before.
route running coaching clearly because they have just had elite route
Or
runners.
we just draft the right guys. That are
Yeah, but
already good at that.
they have to learn everything about the scheme and everything. So they're there. What the
another
fuck?
one.
This is they're all broken plays. Oh my God,
This is a joke.
this is a semi-pro looking team. That was ugly. That looked like a high school play. The way the linemen were just kind of running with Mariota all the way to the sideline. Holy cripes!
But yeah, I think Pittsburgh. I think part of the reason we got a second rounder for Claypool, I really think, is because of our history of drafting wide receivers. Because we really do we traded him for a second, we traded Martavis for a second. We always get a good return on our trades. I think it's because people value Pittsburgh's drafting
Well, and
history with receivers.
Martavis had the.
Dude was a freak.
He had the look. You're right.
He was
He
good.
like Kevin White. He just has the physical tools were there.
Suspensions are the only reason he wasn't good. He was good when he played.
If that's all it was, he would have been in the league longer.
No, he just kept getting suspended.
So did Josh Gordon.
Yeah, but not everyone can play at 30 after missing that many years.
Was his weed too?
Yeah. But like, it's not everyone. And here's the thing is, I don't know if Martavis cared to stay in shape when he, you know what I mean? When he got
Eddie Lacy syndrome, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm saying like when he got suspended for a season, I'm not sure he worked out the whole season when he was off.
So
Like he went and like got high.
he didn't have commitment to the game.
No, he had commitment to weed. That's upsetting. That one's upsetting to me. Just, I hate misses like that. And I hate Pittsburgh's had bad luck recently with Stephon Tuitt. His brother died, and he just retired. And then Shazier, like, obviously that was a freak injury. Like, it sucks when you draft people who were good, and then they quit for whatever reason. Jason Worlds was, like, an up-and-coming linebacker. He looked really good, and then he retired at, like, 26. Because of CTE stuff. He was like, oh, I saw that. I don't want to play anymore. And I'm like, which is fine, but it's still like, oh, man, kind of sucks when you have, like, 3 guys who were our first-round picks over the last, like, 7 years just retire for reasons other than I suck.
And then there's players like Dante Foreman who have never been the guy, but he hit one season where he was the guy with the Texans.
He just wants to play.
He's just love of the game. Or like Frank Gore. No one's ever going to accuse Frank Gore of not just fucking loving playing football. I know I never had that talent.
Speaking of loving football, the first pick that we have to pick, Mr. Tom Brady.
Well, actually, second pick because we picked this game.
That we have to still pick.
Which, yeah, we can
Germany.
I told Nicole about that because it's a 9 a.m. game, and she said, 9 a.m., what's going on? I said, they play overseas. Like, there's
Where's Giselle from?
Is she from Germany? I thought she's from Sweden.
I have no idea. I think it is
Hey,
Sweden.
Siri, where's Giselle Bundchen from?
Giselle Bundchen was born in Horizontina.
Horizontina.
Help me. What is that?
Oh, southern Brazil, near Rio de Janeiro.
Okay. I just wanted there to be some intrigue that there's not. I'll take the Bucks.
It was funny because it popped up and she goes 9:30. I was like, oh, they're playing overseas. And she said, what? I said, yeah, they play a couple games overseas. I spelled Buccaneers wrong. It's still wrong. You say, well, what are they doing overseas? Like, well, think football is the biggest thing on the planet right now. But it's the biggest thing in the United States. Soccer is way bigger than anything the NFL has. As far as like viewership and loyalty and the hooligans and all that. Like, so the only thing you do, you got to play overseas. I was like, they've been playing at Wembley and shit in London. Now they're playing in Munich. Munich? Yeah. All right, you took the Seahawks. Or you took the Bucks. I'm taking the Seahawks. I am riding G. No way he's going to lose. This game, so intrigued. Jags at the 9.5 point Chiefs. We probably 15 of 17 games pick the Chiefs to win by the spread. The Chiefs have not covered against the spread at home this season.
Well, remember the stat last year? Like Mahomes in his career, like I was telling you, they're like 2-18 or something. Like I'm still going to go with the Chiefs.
And yeah, who has the greatest double-digit deficit victory in history by like twofold?
I'm still going with it. I don't forget about it.
I'm with you. Oop. Heard it here first, folks. Texans at the 5.5 point favorite. Giants. G-Man.
Giants. Whap. They should be able to just absolutely run the ball down their throat.
The New York Football Giants. Lions at the 2.5 point favorite. Bears, how dare you fucking even ask me? I think the Bears win. I think the Bears win big. I think the Bears win by 10.
I like the Bears.
Damn right you like the fucking Bears.
Again, Lions terrible stopping the run. Bears by far the best running team. Not like recipes for success.
So,
if the Lions.
random, do you think Justin Fields throws for 200 yards?
No. Just no. How many times has he done it this year?
Once.
Once. Yeah, he's not doing it this
He's
week.
doing it this week.
He shouldn't have to.
He's going to have a total over 300 yards. He's going to have
He's done that once.
he's going to have it twice.
And the
105
time he
yards.
did it, he had 123 passing.
105 yards rushing.
He's not.
265 yards throwing. He's going to nearly clip the 400-yard mark and 4 total
Why
touchdowns.
is he going to throw it for 265? I want to hear the reason for why he would even try to do that.
Because the NFL acknowledged their fuck-ups and that Claypool was indeed pass interfered and that Eddie Jackson did not interfere and there should not have been a penalty.
That's fine.
The NFL is going to
but that was the game
overcompensate.
they were losing.
NFL is going to overcompensate. There's going to be favorites to the Bears. Also, Claypool.
But if they call penalties, he doesn't get those
Hold on,
yards.
hold on. 2 cornerbacks are out for the Lions. They're playing with a depleted secondary. Claypool's physicality, Mooney's speed, the blocking by the stone-handed equanimity St. Brown, and Dante Pettis' speed in the punt return. Like I don't have anything for Pettis other than like he's a pretty good route runner.
Why would he even try to throw? They're not going to have to.
I don't think it's going to be air yardage. It is going to be yak this week.
Yeah, but why is he going to attempt 20 passes? I don't think he attempts 20 passes.
I don't think he needs to get. He won't. He's going to have 15 yards average per attempt. Not air yards. A lot of
I
yak.
have a bold take. Justin Fields will throw for like 100 yards. 300 rushing yards for the Bears this week.
That's a bold one. Oh, team what? Team?
Like I think they could have like 140 from Montgomery, like 100 from Herbert, and like 80 from Fields, and that's not at all. Like they're not gonna have to throw. They're just gonna run the ball down the Lions' throat. There's nothing they're gonna be able to do about it.
It is so crazy how the offensive flipped for the Bears. They went from the 32nd offense, like in every statistical category, to like they are now at this point like the 12th scoring offense because they've averaged over 30 for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, they're gonna run the ball.
They have the highest third down efficiency in the NFL over the last 4 weeks.
Like I saw this. There's a reason that the spread for passing yards for Fields is 128, and it's because like he better get there in the first half because I don't think he's gonna even need to like hardly attempt to pass in the second half. I think they win easily, and I think they just run.
They are the
NFC Titans.
I was gonna say the Ravens, but without the defense.
The Titans are the ones who just will not throw. It's just like they're not throwing the football at all. All right.
I think the best thing the Bears do is they script. They'll pick a play at the start of the drive. This is the bomb. If it pays off, it pays off. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So we both would pick the Bears to win big.
Steelers in the Watt return. Watt's just good.
I think Dalton just eats. Dalton is going to eat TJ Watts.
I mean, TJ Watt coming back is just such a nightmare for teams because it's not even just him getting sacks.
I do think
You now have to allocate so much of your attention to him that it makes it easier.
I'm going to think Olave is going to have 10 catches this game because he's the explosive guy and they need to get the fucking ball out of Dalton's hands. So maybe not catches. I think he's going to have 10 touches between sweeps, jet passes, screens. Olave and
do they use them
Kamara.
all like that? Olave, I know with Jameis was just a downfield guy.
No, it's big screens and not drag is inside. What the fuck is it? Where you take pretty much one step and you're going towards the boundaries.
An out?
You can call it an out, but it's more of a rounded pattern right off the line of scrimmage. It's a relief package. All right. Browns at the 3.5 point favorite Dolphins. I've got to take the Dolphins. I think the Browns are broken.
I'll take the Dolphins too, partially because I want them to win.
Just because.
Not that the Dolphins, they don't really kill anyone. I feel like they just.
Yeah, they didn't beat the Bears by much, and it
And they
looked
didn't beat
like
the Steelers
the
by much
worst
either.
game ever.
And that was the Steelers' best offensive game was against them. I think that's a hedge by Vegas, by the way. This spread, the Bill spread, I think it's a hedge. I think if they announce
I think
if they announce that Fields or Josh Allen's healthy,
so you compare Josh Allen to Justin Fields, huh?
I think we just talked about him so much. I think that it quickly goes to 6.5. If Keenum is ruled in, I think it's like 1.5. I really think it's like that's their hedge.
It was because the
I
spread
pick him if Keenum plays.
the spread before the X-ray for Josh Allen was 6.5 points.
And that's why I said I think it's 6.5 and like basically a pick 'em. I think that's their hedge. That's just them not knowing which way to lean.
I think enough people were betting.
They want it to be. They want bets on both sides. That's all Vegas wants because they take the juice on either way. So they just want an equal amount of bets. So that's what they think it is.
Good catch by Drake
So
London.
if you're confident that Allen plays,
that Drake London? No.
If you're confident that Allen plays, you take the Bills quickly. If you're confident he doesn't play, you take Vikings. Before they get the news.
This is also, I think, the 5th game that the Vikings have played the second string quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm still taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills just because when I heard that stat today, I said, "What the fuck?"
They barely beat Washington.
They barely beat the Bills, if not for the cut player, Smith.
I'm happy with the Bills pick there.
Broncos at the Titans. I'm taking the Titans all day.
The Titans. Anytime I can bet against Nathaniel Hackett, I will. No trust in them. Coming off a bye, he probably will do something worse somehow.
I think he calls timeout on a game-winning field goal, and they miss it, or they make it at the timeout.
One of the worst teams defensively against the run. Not what you want to do against Derrick Henry. Tannehill also should be healthy. So.
Oh man,
Colts Raiders.
I'm taking the Colts.
Raiders heavily.
I'm taking the Colts. Jeff Saturday is going to be a man amongst boys.
The Raiders.
Look, I call Jeff Saturday, and ESPN starts calling you.
Sam Ellinger is not it.
No, he's not.
That offensive line is not it.
Waller went on the IR today.
He's not played in weeks.
Since week 5.
Yeah.
And the Raiders also have been shut out. I think the Colts defense is going to rape.
Devontae Adams had like 180 yards the first half last week.
Not this week. DeForest Buckner eats today. Okay. Sunday.
Well, that's good. I need to catch up one, and that's what I'm confident I'll
Cardinals
get.
at the
that's
1.5.
One of my favorite picks of the week, by the way.
Good. Enjoy it. You were like 2-8 and 3-6. Your 2 worst weeks. So.
Patterson fell on the catch. That's annoying.
This is Cardinals at Rams. I fucking hate both teams.
Give me the Cards. I have no faith in the Rams. Cards have looked a lot better since getting D-Hop back.
Yeah, they have. There's also a lot of dissension on the sidelines. It's all over social media about D-Hop talking shit at Kyler Murray, saying he's not seeing the right things on the field.
Probably true.
I think this is a comeback game. Cam Akers plays, and he gets some ridiculous. He's gonna. This is gonna be his comeback game. He's gonna get a random screen and 60-yard touchdown towards the end of the second quarter. A ridiculous screen to run down the clock, and it's going to turn into something real. Cowboys-Packers, 5-point favorite Cowboys. I'm betting on them boys. I think Aaron Rodgers gets sacked 5 times, and it looks like a complete collapse. The Packers are going to ride the 1970s bottom of the barrel. Aaron Rodgers should have quit after ayahuasca.
Cowboys easily. And here's my thing. Did you see the goal line thing where he threw the pick?
Which one? The Bakhtiari one?
Yeah, the one the Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
Do you see the series?
No.
They had it first and goal at the 1. They did not give A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones a carry on 4 attempts.
So
4th down was the pick to Bakhtiari.
Rodgers has been on the McAfee show 100 times, and he's talked about he always has the right to change the play.
Anytime.
Do you think he's changing it, or do you think LaFleur wants?
I think LaFleur wants Rodgers to be happy. I think it's just part of it. But he wants to pad his stats. But you have it first and goal at the 1, and you 4 times throw it. 4 times.
And you have 2 of the best.
A.J. Dillon, Quadzilla, you don't give him 1 carry. Aaron Jones doesn't get 1 carry. You go 4 passes from the 1. You throw it to your offensive lineman on 4th and 1. That's your call. No, absolutely not. And that's why, in a way, that's why in life, and like betting aside, I kind of like the Titans, Mike Vrabel. First and goal from the 1, you're getting Derrick Henry up the gut. You stop him, cool. You're gonna try that 3 more times.
He'll run it through, yeah.
Because you're gonna throw. He's gonna run Henry at you 4 times up the gut. He's not gonna try anything else. And there's something to be said like that's the right decision. Because how many teams do you think can stop Derrick Henry from the 1 4 times in a row?
I think it's only happened like once since I've been watching football.
I think that you need a holding call. Like, that's like your solution. You need a penalty on the offense to back him up. Like I said, I like that though. Versus like
I think Weber
trying to get cute and I don't mind like if you want to get cute and throw it on first and goal from the 1, fine.
maybe
you
second
run
with
it
the
on
play
second.
action. Maybe second with the play action to
you don't-
Tunyon, not
You
Bakhtiari.
You don't throw it twice in a row.
Bakhtiari, who's barely on the field as it is, who misses drives at a time, middle of the
The
game.
smart play is first and goal from the 1, you give it to A.J. Dillon and see what happens. If he doesn't get it, then you have the right to try to throw it on second down. But if I'm the Packers, I'm running it with A.J. Dillon 4 times in a row on the 1, right at the middle.
It's a sexy looking car.
That's just my thought on it. That's why I will bet against them as long as they're doing
the Benz.
stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just like, they should have given it 4 times.
The
4
Packers
carries.
are a team without an identity. Aaron Rodgers, who had like
The Steelers are not a good team. We wouldn't throw the ball from we're not a good running team. We're like I think the worst running team in football. We would hand it to Najee or do a QB sneak from the 1. We wouldn't do 4 passes.
you wouldn't.
Because it's stupid. That's all I got to say about it. It's dumb. So mad about that. I can't believe how dumb that is. They win that game if they don't do that stupid
The
stuff.
weather's not bad. It was 74 degrees yesterday in South Beloit, Illinois, which is about 4 hours south of Green Bay. So weather's been good up there. I think the grass is going to be too nice. Everything's going to be too good. High pressure system from this hurricane. How great is it? Like, this is what hurricanes should be. This is why people party in hurricanes.
This is going to be a nightmare. The Cowboys are going to go through that line like tissue paper.
Is Zeke back yet? Because I haven't heard anything. I say
He's not going to play.
I-
They said
all I've
if
heard is
he
about
plays-
Pollard being the dude.
Well, they said if he plays, he's not going to be back. And also, Tony Pollard, my one caveat is he had 15 carries in the game without Zeke. The coaches made a statement that said that he's not going to get more than 15 carries, even if Zeke's out. They said they don't think that his body can hold up to like 20-plus carries, and they think he would lose his explosiveness. So they're going to keep him around 15 carries, regardless of who else is healthy. That is a little upsetting to hear.
That's ridiculous.
Because he looks explosive, they said they don't think he can touch it more than that. I was like, okay, how about give him 15 carries, make him like a Kamara situation. Give him like 15 carries, give him like 5 or 6 catches if that's your thought process on him.
I think that's probably more likely.
But do that instead. But they basically said they don't plan on giving him more than like 15 carries, so. Just
I hope they're willing to change that based on the game plan. Like,
like
they have a young-ass OC with Kellen Moore.
well,
You have to
he's
adapt
only
the game
said
plan.
it, I think.
But as the game progresses, you have to be able to, you can't hard line a
No,
young-ass
that's what they
player.
said around 15. So like if it got down to his 4th quarter and he's at 15 carries tonight, they're like, well, we can't give it to him anymore. I just think that they mean they're. I think what that means is you're not going to see him get 25 ever. But you know what I mean? He's not going to have the games where he carries it 25, 26 times.
I don't think he should have those because he's so explosive catching the ball with an athletic offensive line. He shouldn't have 25 carries.
He should.
17 carries in 6
You run
catches
your
near
running
the
back
line.
into the freaking ground, and you let him. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying not to do that. Maybe they think that's what happened to Zeke is he got the ball too much. Maybe that's like a thing the Cowboys are actively trying not to.
They're just playing.
Use 'em up.
They're playing safety.
Well, I mean, yeah, because they're winning games anyway. So
This is a shit game to pick. Chargers at the 7-point favorite 49. I'm
49ers.
taking 49ers.
I'm picking him happily,
Really? You have no.
no qualms.
You have a lot of faith. I think this game's gonna be close.
Nah.
I just have lost faith in Herbert. He's looked so bad in red zone.
Well, he looks bad without Keenan Allen, and is Keenan Allen playing this week? I don't think he is.
I don't care. I've never liked Keenan Allen.
I think the
Keenan Allen to me is Mike
okay,
Evans
what
light.
the heck is happening in this game?
Which game?
Commanders at Redskins. What's going on?
Oh wait.
I have no idea who that's supposed to be.
What did I do with FanDuel?
But I just feel like I don't know how to pick that.
Yeah. I typed Redskins on accident the first time.
But yeah, 49ers, I'm not buying into it without Keenan
I
Allen.
know the Commanders are 10-point underdogs.
Without Keenan Allen, he has not looked good. The 49ers have a good defense. They've had an extra bye week. McCaffrey looks borderline unstoppable since joining the
Eagles.
49ers.
Never mind. I'm switching this. It's
Yeah, it's the Eagles for me.
it's the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles. Never mind.
But yeah,
Probably any other team. I would.
McCaffrey has looked borderline unstoppable since being on the 49ers, and now he's had even longer to study with the team. It's going to be good.
You're taking the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, you're right. With McCaffrey.
Debo's back, by the way, too.
Oh man, this is gonna be some great split back sets. Then I think.
Like McCaffrey literally had like 10 touches for like 80 yards in his debut, and then his second game he caught through and ran a touchdown. I mean, he's gonna be good. I unfortunately traded him in Dynasty. Sad. That's all I gotta say about that. I didn't want to, but I got value for him. So.
All right, what else we got? We'll avoid politics. What else do I have here? My bookmarks.
Oh, I know what else we got.
Oh, congrats, Pat McAfee.
PlayStation 5 or whatever.
That's right. We were going to talk PS5. That's going to work out perfect. All
We
right.
can talk about that as like a segue into us playing.
Because we're going to play Madden. What did we discuss beforehand?
Is that I can't play Madden because I have a Switch and I will never buy. I'm just not going to buy a new console. They're too expensive.
They are expensive. Also, availability is still a major thing for the PS5.
But even like the Xbox, the two Xboxes. How much are Xboxes right now?
It's still 4 and 5.
I just can't. As little as I play video games, I can't justify paying $400 or $500 for a video. And then like, I really only want to play Madden, so I'm gonna pay $500-$600 just to get to play Madden. It's a lot of money.
So, as someone who's built computers and everything, all of the streaming devices you buy, they're obsolete in a year, 2 years maybe, as far as lag and things like that. I also trained my mom and the wife how to use the Xbox, the old Xbox, and the interfaces stayed basically the same. So I got the new Xbox. And then the hurricane, there was some really wet insulation on top of the Xbox when we got back to the house. So we had to put it in there as a loss. Even though it works now, there was dripping water going into it. So we had to put it in there as a loss because it's electrical components. It's working right now. There is some issues, like it has created it's making different noises than it did before. So there will be some issues down the road. I'm a big video gamer. You know, Nicole loves to do a bunch of stuff as far as like clothes and stuff for the kids and like ridiculous photo shoots or her nails, eyelashes, hair. So like my thing is video games. So if we're going to treat ourselves, mine was getting a PlayStation. Hers is maintenance. I've had every video game system except for the Sega Genesis since I was a kid. So since
And a PS4 and PS3.
and a PS2, I had a PS2 Slim, PS1, the mini one, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One Series X, which is what's right behind the monitor.
Wii U?
I didn't know. I didn't have a Wii U. You're right. You're right.
was like, I know
I had a
which
Wii,
obscure thing.
but I didn't even know a Wii U was a separate system.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I had to find the one obscure one.
But I got a Switch when that came out. I've had all these game systems, but I'll tell you this: the Switch is the one I've played the most because it's portable. How can you beat that? The PS5, I wanted it when it came out, but I didn't want to have to bootleg a whole nother system. The bootleg community has been really rough. But there's so many games that are exclusive to PlayStation I wanted, so I got one. I will say I didn't buy it. Nicole bought it for me. You thought I was joking. Nicole really did buy it for me.
Oh, really?
Minutes after she bought it, I texted you about it. She's like, "Oh, I'm bad at surprises. Just know I'm at Walmart checking out."
That's funny.
So she did buy it for me because the PlayStation is just not in stock anywhere. And that's where I learned Walmart does not keep their PlayStation 5s in the cabinets. So any Joe Schmo who walks through Walmart looks like it's sold out. You walk up to the person, "Hey, do you have any in the back?" Bam, that's how you get it. The Walmart near us in Port Charlotte by Target and the Walmart in Inglewood both get 10 to 12 a week. You just got to go there and ask if they have it. Call them or anything. Just, do you have it? They do. You go there. I called about it. They go to the back and they bring it to you. What were we going to talk about these systems? Why I think you should get one other than outdated equipment from... I don't believe in smart TVs. None of my TVs
They exist, sure.
Yep. I don't believe in the idea of using them. Samsung, LG, all of them have an ad support to them. So as soon as you connect your TV to the internet, when you go to the apps, you're getting hit with an ad that benefits the company, has nothing to do with you. I pay for a subscription, say for Netflix and stuff like that. Before I can go to Netflix, I have to look at the ad that the TV has, making the rich get richer. I realize that
My
paying
TV
for this.
doesn't have that.
How new is your TV?
Really new? Like a year, if that.
What is it?
A Samsung.
When I come over, open up your home screen and see if there's not a bottom right thing of buying this or buying that somewhere
The
that's
bottom
not.
right, like maybe somewhere like that, but
Right.
Like, but I don't have to watch an ad or anything.
No, but it's ad supported.
Meh.
They're selling your Surface area to another company to put an ad on there.
But it's only on there if I hit guide or whatever. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, open up the squib quick.
Yep. Buying
Oh.
a smart TV isn't something that I necessarily need. It's just if it.
They really
TV
don't
that-
make any that aren't now. It was some sort of.
thing is, like, if that's the one that like I got a really good deal on mine, so like if that's the one that happens to have a deal, I'm not like no. I just don't.
The other reason I said it's worth the investment. We live in a world where tech is the way to go, as far as everything goes. You're not going to keep up with it at a certain point, but your child is going to be growing up in a completely tech-involved world. You can either fight the tech, or you can go with it and give Marshall a leg up. Let him know how to use all these interfaces, random and shit like that. You may not want him to have an iPad, I get that, but at least let him fiddle fuddle and understand what's going on with it early on into it. I want to enroll Jackson in a coding class, and he's not even fucking 2 years old yet, but damn sure he will be in coding. He will have a fundamental understanding of building and how parts work for computers. Fighting tech is not the way to advance
Well,
into
that's
the
not what
future.
I'm doing.
Hey, listen, I know you're ultimately one of the cheapest people I've ever met, and I'm proud of you for that.
I don't know if cheap is
You admit
frugal is the word.
frugal and cheap is the same thing. Frugal is what you say if you're cheap, but you want to
Here's
sound
the thing,
nicer.
I would buy myself a PlayStation 5 if I thought I would get my money's worth out of use. I won't use it, is why I'm not buying it. I don't play video games nearly enough to justify buying one.
You don't have to play them a lot. If you want to buy Madden every year, spend your $60 and play Madden every single year. Why not?
It's not the $60, it's the $500.
But you can do everything else on it on top of that, and then you don't have to have the other device that's going to lag or not work.
I don't
and
have
the-
another device.
So you're rocking the old Android communications that are in your Samsung TV?
To watch Netflix, yeah.
All right, just wait.
It's pretty basic.
That'll let you just wait. That'll let you down soon.
It does.
What? And then you'll buy the PS5?
Maybe.
You'd pick PS5 over Xbox?
I'd probably buy what's cheaper.
There's not a cheaper.
That's the problem.
I mean, you could buy the digital edition of them. Just wait for someone's deal to pop up.
I'd have to buy it like on a Black Friday or something. Like just 'cause,
There's like a man sale on Black Friday.
yeah, and that's not. I have to buy them on some sort of deal. It's just hard. Like I said, the hard part for me is it's just
Justifying it. You
it's
can't
justifying
justify
'cause
it.
I just don't play video games.
Every time you're here, every single
I do
time
with
you
you,
can. Yeah.
yes, but I don't play video games by myself.
I do like to get lost in video games.
That's my hard part. Is like by myself, I never play video games. I really enjoy playing Madden with another person, and like when I buy Madden, I enjoy it for like a little bit against the computer. But then I get to the point where it's just like, all right, you know what I mean? Like
I really like role playing games for that. Diablo. I still play Diablo. I still play Diablo 3. It came out in 2012.
and I just hang out with my wife too much.
It's because you. Never mind.
Like
I'm gonna hang out with mine too, but mine falls asleep on the chair.
I get off work.
It's 9:48.
I get off work. I get excited about hanging out with my kid
He's in bed.
until 8. He goes to bed, and then Bethany and I will play a board game or watch a show that we watch together
So you could easily switch from a board game to something that's more interactive, like a video game.
with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's see.
We-
It's
we could play a
9:48.
video- We have to find a video game that we both want to play together.
I'm gonna double check. I bet you money she's asleep.
Yeah, Bethany would be up, but yeah, we usually hang out. Like I said, we'd have to find a game that we play together. But yeah, we also do.
She's out. Fucking out. 2 blankets curled up on her side. So that's why I play. I have so much alone time when the kids go to bed at 9.
That is a completely different thing. I'm not hardly ever alone. Like I said, I come home, they're home, and then like Bethany's up, and like it's. I don't really want to be like, well, I'm gonna play a video game, and
You're also not a night owl like I am, are you? How late do you stay up?
I don't know.
On average?
Midnight probably.
Oh my, yeah. So I'm a 2 a.m. So it's 9:48. I got 4 hours.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference. You have 4 hours, you're awake, no one else is. That is, I would play video games then. I don't have that same situation. Wow, it's raining.
Like I said, pick the under in the yards. Hurricane Nicole ripping through North Carolina right now. All right.
I'm sure you had some fun with the Hurricane Nicole thing.
No, we didn't.
You didn't?
No, we didn't have any fun with it because we just had Hurricane Ian that destroyed our house and everything. So just like, let's not fuck around and talk about like too much shit. Maybe down the line we'll use some memes or something, but not right now. Anyway, we rocked your worlds for an hour plus, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat your ass in some Madden, I hope. I have some meatballs, some chips and salsa. And, oh man, we're going to fucking hang out.
Sounds like a plan.
Hope you guys have a great night. This has been another edition of the MVZ podcast. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for listening to the On Call Podcast. Check us out on Twitter @OnCallPod. Interested in being a sponsor or want to be on the show? Drop us an email at oncallpod@gmail.com. For more info, go to oncallpod.com.